That's right. Well,
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Andy Brownell along with Robin Gwaltney on News Talk 1340 KROC AM 96.9 FM. Of course, Robin with Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
I'm liking spring.
Yeah, tomorrow tonight when do they do it? You actually do it Sunday night? My dad always taught us to change the clocks on Saturday, but it doesn't really change until Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you might as well. I agree with that strategy because that way you won't think, I can stay awake as late as I normally do and lose the hour of sleep.
He just always had them change. He always had us change them on Saturday night. So that's what I still do. But anyway, so here we go. I mean, it's good in a way, right? It's hard that first couple of weeks because I like to get up early in the morning. So if I continue to get up at 5, I'm really getting out of bed at 4, which is really early.
Don't think about it.
I know. It's all good.
You got to go, hey, we get that extra daylight in the evening. Or I can
just say, wow, I stayed in bed until 6 o'clock today, but in essence, I really didn't. It's all good. I love mornings. I love early mornings because early mornings, I can get stuff done that's not work related. That is just, my personal stuff. Like if I want to sort through some drawers or I want to organize something or whatever. It's just a good time of the morning for me to get stuff done when I have zero interruptions because typically my phone is not ringing at 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, I would hope not.
Well,
if you're like me, if the phone rings after 10 o'clock at night and before 5 a.m., I get really worried.
Yeah, me too. That's never a good thing. I agree with you. Well, how about we start this show out with the Rochester Market Report?
Oh, great. New data.
Okay. All right. So, and this is just a couple days old, so pretty fresh. Currently, there are 173 sales pending overall in the market. That leaves 275 listings actively for sale. So that results in a pending ratio of 38.6%, which is actually moving in the right direction.
Right.
Because I think we were at 36% or 33% the last time. And of course, the lower that number, that means it's a buyer's market and not good for the sellers. And if it's a high number, like, 70% or something, then it's really good for the sellers. But what we like is a very balanced market. So 38.6% is getting closer to 50%, which that's ideal.
It's the Goldilocks market.
Yes. Then we have houses for sale and we have buyers out buying them and everything is just moving in sync. And that's actually good.
Well, that makes sense too, that number would be edging up because we're getting that data is from right at the very, very start of the spring market.
Yes. And so we are seeing, oh my God, so many houses coming on the market. My phone has been ringing off the hook and everybody has kind of that same philosophy. We should like to get on the market right in time for the people coming to look for the after match day. So there will be a lot of new inventory. I personally, I think, have 5 or 6 houses that will be, that's a tongue twister, specifically lined up with match day. So like that weekend of the 20th, they'll start hitting the market, some a few days later. But so we have a mildly active market right now with our numbers. But to be very honest, our inventory is, let me see. I mean, really, if we're looking at 399, nope, higher than that. 400 to 499, and anything less expensive than that, we have fewer than 2 months of inventory in all of those price ranges.
Right.
So up to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, and 400 to 500. Everything in those price ranges is like 1.7, 1.8, 1.2, 1.1, 2.1. So everything is like less than 2 months worth of inventory, meaning if we don't get any more listings in those price ranges in less than 2 months, we'll have nothing to sell that's under 500,000. Now, of course, that is not going to happen because, as I just mentioned, the listings are coming on right and left. If you called Tina, our listing administrative person who does all the listings, she would tell you that she's been nonstop from sun up till sundown putting listings in. So there's been quite a few. Now, when the prices go up a little bit, 500 to 600, there's 3 months worth of inventory. This is interesting. 600 to 700, there are 6 months worth of inventory.
Huh.
700 to 800, 3.5 months. 800 to 900, there are 9 months worth of inventory. 900 to 1 million, 7 months. 1 million to 1,000,001, we have 2 months worth of inventory. 1,000,001 to 1,000,002, we have 9 months worth of inventory. 1,000,002 to 1,000,003, 4.3 months. And then when you get up past 1,000,003, from 1,000,003 to 1,000,004, it's 9.5 months. And from 1,000,004 and up, it is 10 months. So those more expensive houses are sitting
Sure.
on the market longer.
Unless
And-
it's priced just over $1 million.
Yeah, and then it's pretty fast, right? Because
Yeah.
then there's only 2 months worth of inventory there. But on average, because of those less expensive houses having such a short supply, on average, over all the price ranges, we have 2.4 months worth of supply. So it's not like we're sitting here with this huge, excess of listings to sell. So that is not the case at all.
No.
And actually, if we compare our Rochester market to the whole national market, we're probably doing a little better because we do have a little more inventory. And I think that we have more inventory because we have so many people who come and go and come and go, and
Right.
which is why
built in.
the match day is a big deal. But this is kind of a fun fact, fun or scary. I don't know how you want to look at it. But National Association of Realtors just came out with a number, and it said that nationwide we are over 4 million shy of houses compared to what we have the need for.
That's a crazy number when you think about it.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot.
going to take forever to catch up.
So it's going to take forever to catch up. You got that right. So that's what's going on. Let me take a look at days on market.
Yeah, that was the one I was just going to ask you about.
So average days on market for all price ranges has been 42.
Okay.
And that's in the ones that have sold and closed in the last 6 months. They've been on the market 42 days on average. 20 days has been the market median. So, a month or two.
That's moving along pretty briskly is what
Yeah,
that is.
that really is. And that's what I have been telling people is that if we go on the market well prepared with a good plan to market it, and at the same time, we have hit the sweet spot with our price. It's so important. My gosh, if you're listening to one single thing I say today, listen to this. It is so incredibly important to price your house right. And when I say price it right, what that means is price it where we're going to get the maximum out of it in the least amount of time. So if we go way overpriced, and we sit 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 and we sit, somebody will eventually have the guts to offer a lower price if your agent hasn't helped you reduce the price in the meantime. But all right, let's just say you were $30,000 overpriced. So you sat and sat and sat and sat. Finally, after you're like on the market 5 months with no offers, along comes an agent who didn't grow up in Minnesota, isn't quite as passive, and says, we're going to offer you $30,000 less, right? And they take it. Well, now that affects everything, right? It affects our numbers, it affects our stats, because it's where it was last market price, what percentage of that price did it sell for? That's what we're looking at.
Right.
So when they're overpriced, they sit and sit and sit. Sometimes it means they have to do a price reduction. And then once the price reduction comes, an offer might come in that's even lower than what they could have gotten if they had just put it on the market for the right price in the beginning.
And that's what you're there for.
Right. And we do struggle with that sometimes, because sometimes people will say, oh my gosh, that sold so quickly. Maybe we didn't ask for enough. And it's like, no, exactly the opposite. The reason it sold so quickly is because we hit the sweet spot and we priced it where it should have been priced. And we therefore attracted a lot of attention. We had more than one offer. I just actually won in a multiple offer yesterday, where we were one of 4 offers, had to go a significant amount above ask, waived the inspection. But luckily, that agent did a good job of prepping the seller, so they had the house pre-inspected, so we weren't going in blind. But,
many things to think about. That's why I want you on my side if I ever have to do this.
Thank you. And I want to be on your side. And that reminds me of something. I had an old friend call from, you know how you have these friends from the past that when you reconnect, it's like you take yourself right back to that time. Well,
Yes,
when he and I first started working at the Mayo Clinic right around the same time in 1981, we were fast friends and stayed friends for a long time, all the while we worked together. And then, of course, we both went off to different careers and just lost touch. A few years back, he called and said, hey, my mom and dad need to sell their place. They're going into assisted living. You're the first person I thought of. I said, great. And then he called me recently and said, hey, Robin, I've had a health issue and can't stay in my house anymore, and I need to get into a 1-level townhome or whatever. So I helped with that. Well, today was the day that I met to go put his house on the market, the house that he has to sell. And he was so sad because he loves his house and it wasn't what he wanted to do. And he looked at me and he said, the only thing that's making this bearable for me is because I know that I trust you. And it feels so good to know that I'm in good hands. And it just warmed my heart because it's so important. We're doing such big things for people. These are major decisions, spending a lot of money, more money than they're going to spend on anything else, and helping them get as much money as we can for the sale of the home. But it's just emotional too, because people don't always want to leave their house when it's time to leave their house. It's not always a by choice thing.
I know. I have 2 acquaintances that have gone through this over the past 6 months, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah, it is. But it's nice to be there. I love being able to be there for them. Yeah.
Okay. We do need to take a break. Back in a moment with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everyone. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results with us Saturday morning on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. And Robin, obviously, over the past week, the news has been dominated by the war in the Middle East with Iran, and now, a lot of the focus is on the economic impact of what's happening. Is this something that could impact the real estate market?
Well, I have not personally felt it. I have been extremely busy, but again, every market is going to be affected a little bit differently, right? Depending on where people's money is coming from, where their livelihood is, how the changing stock market will change people's lives. Here in Rochester, we're basically selling houses to and for people who are coming for the Mayo Clinic in one way or another.
Sure.
Whether they're coming here to work, to study, as a patient. But it is the majority of our business. And so that isn't going to be too affected. The things that we are noticing is, last week I was bragging about the average interest rate was 5.98. This week it's already 6.13. So it's headed in the other direction. I don't know if things are going to go crazy. I don't think so, but I don't have that crystal ball. So
Nobody does.
Right. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping everything is going to be good. The 30-year weekly average still really close to 6%, slightly up from last week, but not terrible. And last year at this time, we were looking at just under 7%, like 6.7 to 6.9. So I think that is good. Yeah. But people are affected. They're affected. They can see higher groceries again. They can see higher prices at the gas pumps, and it does a lot of immediate kind of panic pricing. I think it is more than anything.
And if you look at a year ago, gasoline is still cheaper than it was a year ago.
Yeah.
It's actually considerably cheaper than it was a year ago.
Yeah. So I think I know we're gonna be just fine, and I know that the Rochester market, like I said, is probably going to be affected a lot less than a lot of markets across the country. So I'm very grateful for that.
And you pointed out a lot of this is psychological. It's driven by oil. And if things stabilize and oil goes back down, a lot of these ripple effects from that will disappear relatively quickly.
Correct.
That's me looking at it half glass full.
Well, and it's just, when rates start climbing over inflation fears and when the economic shocks are triggered, we see things that just kind of throw people off kilter, right? So,
yep. That's the nature of the markets.
We'll be all right.
Well, the other thing in the news concerning real estate lately has been this talk of somehow restricting the ability of corporations to buy single-family homes.
Yeah, you are referring to the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. So it is something that is in the Senate and actually was voted to pass. It's a bipartisan package with broad support for the real estate industry, which we like because, as you know, the part of the American dream has always been home ownership, right? And if I just told you a few minutes ago that we are over 4 million short on homes and interest rates are a lot higher than they were a few years ago, but still great for normal, right? Normal interest rates. But when you take all of those things into consideration, it's like something has to give. And what the government has figured out is that so many homes are being bought up by investors, either to be used as rentals or to be, fixed up a bit and sold for a profit, which just drives up prices. So it takes those off of the, out of the affordability for a lot of the buyers. So they just said, we got to stop this. We got to make it so that we have more houses available for homeowners. So I'll read a little bit about it. Okay. So after the Housing for the 21st Century Act passed the U.S. House of Representatives last month, Senators Tim Scott of South Carolina and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts introduced a bipartisan package known as the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. The Senate voted to advance this package on March 4th. So this is pretty new. This legislation contains most of the Road to Housing Act, which has had support in the Senate, but lost steam last fall. And most of the Housing for the 21st Century Act is it takes a good first step to rein in the corporate landlords that are squeezing families out of homeownership. So that's the whole point. It's like we have to get back to somehow making an abundance of homes available for the families who are hardworking, who can, own their own home, deserve to, and want to, as a big piece of that, again, long-standing national dream to own a home.
Yeah.
It's just part of the American dream. So
absolutely.
Anyway. So I'm glad that the National Association of Realtors has gotten involved. I'm glad that our, senators have gotten involved, and I'm glad that we've had broad support. So I think this will be good for everybody.
Would this impact the little guy who No, I have got this money socked away and I want to buy an investment property.
No, it's not. It's not like that. It's on a much broader scale. There are big companies who have gone across the country and just said, oh, let's buy them all up. And, we can own them as rentals and charge ungodly amounts of rent. Or, we can put a little lipstick on this pig and sell it for a huge profit. And then, again, price people out. So, no, I'm glad that they're reining that in. I think that's very important. Very important.
And I think the president has expressed support for this as well.
I believe so.
So if it gets to his desk, it might get signed. Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, that's one good thing. He does have a real estate background. So he understands. He understands the importance of real estate in this country.
All right, Robin. We'll take another break and return in just a moment. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Saturday morning on News Talk 1340 KROC AM 96.9 FM with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. And Robin, you were talking about listings coming in. Do you have any listings we can talk about today?
Absolutely. We were just talking about investors, and you asked me, does this affect the little guy? And the answer was no. And guess what? I've got a perfect little investment opportunity right over on 807 2nd Street Northwest. So right in the heart of Kutsky Park, and very walkable to the downtown campus, to St. Mary's Hospital. And this is 2 units. It's a duplex up and down unit. So you could live in one and rent out the other, or you could rent them both out, whatever you want to do. This is currently listed, just been on the market a couple of days, for $325,000. Yeah, nice when you can get 2 rents, right?
Yes.
Not bad at all. So because that has renters in it currently, it does require a 24-hour showing appointment. So if you want to see it, just keep that in mind. Okay, down on the point, I think I might have talked about this one as a coming soon, but down on TPO Point near Wabasha, what we call the Prairie, right? 68014 County Road 76. I have got a big split level. It is probably about 2,800 square foot with a 2-car garage, and it's listed just over $1 million. It has 65 feet of frontage with the most gorgeous view of the main channel. Talk about the point. It's right out on the end of the point. So it's really it's location. Let's say that.
And it's that $1 million price where they move pretty quick.
Yeah. Yep. And it's, I've got one at 1808 Hillview Lane Southeast in Rochester, Minnesota. And that one is 3 beds and 1 bath, just under 1,000 square feet, but at a very nice price of $259. So affordable to many. I have 6317 Oak Meadow Lane Northwest, 4 beds, 3 baths, 3,940 square feet. Great big shop with an upstairs. And this one is got a 6-car garage. Oh. Right up your alley there, Andy.
Yeah.
Sits on 2 acres, and that one's $769,900. Nice. Out in Casson, we've got one at 203 10th Avenue Southeast. I think I briefly talked about this house last week or the week before when we were getting it ready for the market. The house had a house fire, unfortunately.
You mentioned fire. That, yeah.
So the family had nobody was hurt, so that's first and foremost. But the family had to gut the house down. Well, they didn't do it personally. They hired a builder, but had to have it gutted down to the studs and redone. So when you pull up, sure, it looks like a 2007 split level house. But when you walk in, you're like, what? Because it feels like you're in brand new construction. And so that's just under 2,000 square feet, has 3 bedrooms, and yes, 5 bathrooms. And that one's $4,099.
That's a lot of bathrooms.
Yeah, 2 half baths, I guess, just
okay.
convenience. Okay, up on Panorama Circle. I do know I talked about this one last week. This one is, it's so nice. It's got 4 bedrooms and 4 baths. It's got 3,609 square feet, so good size, very good size. And it was built in 2013, and this one is $675. Okay.
Awesome.
Got a very nice next to new 2-story, 4933 Riley Lane, Southwest. This is a big one. Has 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, just under 5,000 square feet, a 3-car garage, and this one was built in 2020. So it's on the new side, but I'll tell you what, there's only one owner that's lived there, and they currently live there, and they are meticulous. So this house looks as good as it looked when it was new, and probably better because they had all custom window treatments installed, etc. So very nice house. That one's listed at $1,150,000. So again, in that range of the high ends, that's selling the quickest. So I like that. Got a lot over in Wabasha for $60,000. Another lot over in Wabasha for $70,000. Another lot over in Wabasha for $70,000. And then we've got that big old barn dominium over down on the prairie there. And that's got a 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,800 square feet of living space. And then, of course, there's the big shed, too, because it's all in one piece. And that one is brand new, just built in 2026, just completed.
Cool.
And listed for $675.
I have a friend who owns one of those in Iowa, and it is the coolest place.
They are very cool. So
I
there you go.
understand until I saw it, and I went, wow, this is awesome.
I have more where that came from, but I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So I gave you a nice sampling. And once again, I would love to invite you sincerely to call me on my cell phone anytime you have any questions regarding real estate, whether it's about, should we put our house on the market? Is it the time to buy? Oh, hey, Robin, we're moving to South Carolina. Who do you know there? Anything, any related question to real estate whatsoever, please call me on my cell phone at 507-259-4926 because I sincerely welcome your phone calls.
All right, Robin, thank you again, and I look forward to chatting Saturday next week.
All right. It'll fly by like it does every week.
It always
Louise.
does.
Crazy.
All right. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results. News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.